Namaste. Welcome to Wise Owl Career Guide. Today we have Dr. Vipul Jain with us, who's been practicing in the field of medicine for more than 2 decades now, and he's been running his own private practice. Let's hear from him about his journey and why he chose to be in private practice. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, you've chosen a specialty of ENT.
Yeah.
First of all, what were the considerations of going into ENT as a specialty?
In our times, actually, there was not much of a choice given.
Okay.
There was no need or anything like that. And I had done my house jobs in ENT and I got an opportunity at a very good place.
Okay.
Especially our batch was going to miss 1 year for PG entrance. But by chance, I got admission in the same year in a premier institute. So I went in for ENT.
Okay. So it wasn't a very...
Nothing specific.
Okay. But which year do you have to, choose your specialty?
It's after internship. In our times, it was after internship. We needed to have 2 house jobs of 6 months each. The subjects you do your house jobs in, you are eligible to get a PG only in those subjects.
Okay.
So I did my house job. Both my house jobs were in ENT. So I was actually eligible only for ENT, but I would have wasted 1 year had I waited. But since I got a good opportunity, so I went to another college to do my PG.
So, sir, after your, house jobs and your specialty, why did you decide to get into private practice and not into a hospital job?
My background is that I've done everything from Punjab.
Okay.
After my PG, I started in a government job.
Okay.
This is year 88, I think, 88.
Okay.
But at that time, there was a lot of terrorism in Punjab.
Right.
So all the elderlies, they advised us that why settle in Punjab, go to Delhi.
Okay.
That's how we came to Delhi. And I started off my practice in hospital setups only.
Okay.
But somehow or the other didn't click.
Uh-huh.
So then I thought of opening my own clinic, but to set up an ENT clinic, the investment required was too much.
Okay.
So I started off getting away from ENT gradually. And I also felt the need, my need or the patient's need for a general practitioner in that area.
Okay.
So that's how I switched over to general medicine. And I started practicing more as a general physician. I'm not into ENT surgeries. I do see ENT patients, but I'm not into surgeries anymore.
Okay. So is it easy to set up your own private practice?
Not very easy, but the only resources required for a general practitioner practice is just a place.
Okay.
You don't need very high-ended equipments or anything of that kind. But all depends on how do you want to proceed further.
Okay. So, over the years, the medicine has advanced, the patients have changed in their, needs from a doctor. How has that impacted, private practices as such?
The patients have become very smart, and the doctors also, they do need to be updated. I do keep myself updated, but not too much. But the patients keep updating you every day. Their knowledge is so much that they'll question you things which are difficult to answer at times.
Okay.
But in my practice, patients have taught me a lot.
Okay.
Rather than the reverse.
So, sir, what are the the headaches or the pitfalls in a private practice?
Headaches in a general medicine practice are not many. You are not dealing with actually very serious cases. The only headache I felt when I was staying around that area was
Mhm.
that anybody would ring the bell at 1 a.m.
Okay,
because I was staying there only, so I was very approachable.
right.
That was the only headache I felt. Otherwise, it's a cool practice. You have your fixed timings. You are not treating any emergencies. If you feel the need, you can always refer the patient to a hospital. Otherwise, I haven't found any headaches, but for your commitment to the time.
Okay,
You have to be really committed for the timings you've given. You have to be there.
okay. So, all the young doctors who are coming into this field and are thinking about whether to get into private practice or stay with a hospital or do a combination of, both, what would be your advice? Which is, a better format for them, or what are the things they need to consider while making this decision?
I would advise them to have a combination of both, because just
Okay.
practicing in a hospital becomes difficult because they're not very ethical.
Mhm.
Plus, if you have your own setup, you can give them your own patients, and then
Okay.
they also give you more weightage, and you have a better say in the hospital setup. So
Okay.
the ideal combination is to have both.
Both. And what is that one advice that you would want to give to the fresh, professionals getting into this field or thinking about getting into this field? Because medicine has been a profession where it is done a lot under parental pressure than the own inclination of a student.
True, true,
So,
true.
what is it that you would advise people who are thinking of getting into this field? What is the things that they need to think through before they get into this?
Before they get into medical college,
Yes.
see, the profession is very good, although it needs a lot of time and dedication. Hard work, definitely, yes, but the earnings are limitless if you are good and you are in a good setup, then sky is the limit.
Okay.
But then the work to be put in is actually very hard. Nowadays, especially, people without a specialization stand nowhere. Rather, people have to go in for super specializations, which
Okay.
takes about 15 years to complete with all senior residencies and everything.
Right.
But then after that, there is no looking back.
So you're
You will
saying
definitely have to give time. Come
a
again?
medical professional will have to be actually studying for the next 27 years in total, 12 years of your, school, and
Studying
then,
and with some work in between,
right.
but that work is definitely required.
Sure. So, what is the advice that you want to give to the parents who are forcing their kids to get into medical? Because now the entire, career path and the options available to be successful, to be able to, be earning good money for yourself have opened up a lot. Being a doctor or an engineer is not the only option for you to be a successful professional. So, what
Yes.
is the advice that you would give to the parents, to think about before forcing their child to get into a medical profession?
My advice would be not to force your children at all. Let them be on their own. Don't force Tulika.
Okay.
No, see, there are so many avenues nowadays which are, if not better, as good as being a medical professional.
Right.
So if the child is not willing, there is no point. The other options don't need that long a period of study, plus
Mhm.
not that much of hard. And
Okay.
the earnings can be even more.
Right.
As a doctor, if you want to earn more, you have to slog 24 hours a day.
Right.
Other professions, you don't need to slog every time.
Right.
You have time for yourself and at a younger age. A doctor can have time for himself or herself after the age of 50.
After the age of 50.
Yeah, because say at the age of 35, you come into the market.
Right.
Then to establish yourself, you will take another 5-7 years. So you're
Correct.
already 40 plus. Now you start earning heavily. But now your commitments have also gone up.
Right.
So it's difficult to give time to yourself or to your family as a very successful doctor. This is where a GP scores.
Okay. All right.
He can give time to his family.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today and sharing your experience and insight into the medical profession.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for calling. Thank you, Neha. Thank you.
That was Dr. Vipul Jain sharing with us his experience as a doctor through more than 2 decades and practicing as a private practitioner and not being part of a hospital. Medical profession is a profession that parents till date see as the ultimate profession their child can be. But as he said, it requires a lot of studying, a lot of hard work, and you actually can start enjoying life or reaping the benefits of all your hard work, years and years of hard work, only after the age of 55. My question and suggestion to the parents who want to see their child as a doctor is to think before they force this on their child. If the child themselves is interested, definitely they should get into this profession. It is a very noble profession, but forcing a child to get into medicine just because you think this is a safe and a profitable or something that will guarantee their success is something that they should not do, especially in today's day and time when there are so many options available. Making your child go through something that they don't enjoy, they don't want to, just because you can force them, they obey you, they listen to you, they take your advice, is something that you should not do to your child. I hope you've gained some insight from this interview. If you have any further questions that you want to ask Dr. Vipul Jain, please do write to us in the comments below, and do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.